Don't choose the wrong one. Walk into the garden section at Bunnings and you'll find bags labelled compost, soil improver, organic compost and seed raising mix. They all look rather similar, but put your seeds into the wrong one and you could get very disappointing results. So today we're going through the compost and seed raising mixes currently listed by Bunnings New Zealand, looking at what's actually inside them, what they're designed to do, and which one I choose for each gardening job. First, there's one important distinction. Compost is primarily about improving soil. Seed raising mix is about creating the controlled environment needed to germinate a seed and establish its first roots. And that's why buying ordinary compost and simply filling a pot or seed tray with it isn't necessarily a good idea. In fact, Bunnings specifically says its Garden Basics compost should be mixed into existing garden soil and shouldn't be used as a container growing medium on its own. Think of compost as an ingredient rather than automatically thinking of it as soil. Let's start at the budget end. Garden Basics comes in a 40-litre bag. Its job is straightforward: add organic matter and nutrients to existing soil while improving drainage, moisture retention and soil structure. Bunnings also says it encourages earthworm activity. This is the sort of product I'd consider if I had an established vegetable garden and wanted to improve a reasonable area economically. But remember that important instruction: don't fill a container with this and plant straight into it. Move up to Daltons Garden Time Compost and we get much more information about what's actually inside the bag. The base is composted New Zealand bark, there's screened chicken manure providing nutrients and gypsum providing additional calcium. This is an interesting combination. The composted bark contributes organic matter, chicken manure adds fertility, and gypsum can help improve soil structure. Dalton says the product can loosen clay soils while helping sandy soils hold together and retain moisture. For a New Zealand vegetable bed where the original soil needs improving, this is a particularly useful all-round formulation. Again, notice the word soil improver. This isn't simply something designed to fill a pot. The gypsum makes this particularly interesting where you're dealing with compacted clay soil while blood and bone contribute natural fertilizing nutrients. I'd look at this product when the condition of the existing soil itself is one of the main problems I'm trying to correct. Scott's also has a 25-litre organic compost. The significant difference here is certification. The listed ingredients are 100% BioGrow certified organic. It's intended to revitalise existing soil, support beneficial microbial activity, improve aeration, and help the soil retain water. So if maintaining an organically managed vegetable garden matters to you, this is the obvious product in this group to investigate. There's also a bulk Daltons option, 1 cubic metre supplied as 20 50-litre bags. This is really aimed at larger jobs. It contains gypsum and composted chicken manure, and just like the Garden Basics product, Daltons specifically says not to plant directly into it. It's intended to be incorporated into existing soil, so this is the landscaping or large vegetable garden option rather than something I'd buy for 1 or 2 pots. Now we come to seed raising, and this is where the formulation becomes quite different. A germinating seed needs moisture, but it also needs oxygen around its developing roots. A fine, consistent medium helps provide good seed contact while avoiding the heavy, coarse environment that ordinary garden compost can create. So let's look at 3 quite different approaches. Dalton's premium seed raising mix has perhaps the clearest structural recipe of the products we're comparing. It combines cocoa fibre, screened New Zealand bark fines, and Dalton's pumice. The cocoa helps manage moisture, the fine bark provides organic structure, and pumice helps maintain drainage and air spaces around developing roots. Then Dalton's adds controlled release Osmocote, exact mini fertiliser, designed to provide nutrition for 3 to 4 months. There's also a wetting agent to distribute moisture and trichodri, a beneficial fungus intended to support seedling health. For conventional seed raising, particularly trays of vegetables, where I want uniform seedlings, this is a very purpose-built formulation. Scott's takes an organic route. Its organic seed raising mix uses BioGrow certified organic ingredients. It includes seaweed to support root development together with slow release feeding. It's designed for both seed trays and direct sowing. So if I wanted an organic system from germination onwards, this is the obvious contrast with the controlled release fertiliser approach used by Daltons. Yates Nature's Way has another interesting formulation. This one lists seaweed, fish meal, chicken manure, blood and bone, trace elements and zeolite. The fish meal supplies nitrogen and micronutrients. Chicken manure contributes nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Blood and bone provides slower release nitrogen and phosphorus, and zeolite helps the medium retain nutrients. Yates recommends it not only for germinating vegetable, herb and flower seeds, but also for propagating cuttings. So compared with the other two, this is a particularly nutrient-rich organic-style recipe. So here's the simple version. If I'm improving an ordinary garden bed economically, Garden Basics does the straightforward job. If I want a compost with clearly specified natural ingredients, Dalton's Garden Time gives me composted New Zealand bark, chicken manure and gypsum. For difficult or compacted garden soil, I'd look closely at the Scott's Osmocote Soil Improver. For an organically managed bed, Scott's Organic Compost is the certified option in this comparison. And for a large landscaping or vegetable growing project, the Daltons Bulk Compost starts to make sense. But none of those would be my first choice for sowing seeds. For seed raising, I'd choose an actual seed raising mix. Daltons gives us a highly engineered conventional formulation with cocoa, bark, pumice and long-term controlled feeding. Scott's provides the simpler certified organic route with seaweed and slow-release nutrition. And Yates offers a nutrient-rich formulation containing several recognisable organic fertiliser ingredients plus zeolite. Which one is best, therefore, depends partly on how you garden. But the important thing is that all three have been formulated specifically around young plants, and there's one final trap worth avoiding. If you're growing vegetables in pots, don't assume that because a bag says compost it's suitable for filling the pot. Some of the composts we've looked at today specifically aren't. For a permanent container, start with a growing medium formulated for containers or vegetables in pots. Compost can then play a supporting role where the manufacturer's instructions allow it. That distinction can make the difference between a pot that drains properly and healthy roots and one that becomes dense, wet and disappointing. So next time you're standing in front of all those bags, don't simply ask which one is cheapest. Ask a much better question. What job do I need this mix to do? Improve my soil, feed an existing vegetable bed, germinate seeds, or grow vegetables in a container? Choose the product for the job and you're giving your plants a much better start. If you found this useful, subscribe and join me for more practical vegetable growing guides, including our One Pot Veg series. Thanks for watching.